Morning everybody. It's a bit nippy, but as you can see, it's beautiful. First time out on Smle this year, apart from her MOT. And this is just to catch up what we've been fiddling with since, well, I suppose, the back end of last summer, autumn 2021. Thought I'd mix it up a little bit. Only a little bit, mind, because I've got no way of remembering what's going on without looking at the photos that I took at the time. So for now, it's back to me in the studio. Thanks me, this is one of the first of several wheel related issues. I hit a pothole in Brum, a big one, and it hurt. I've certainly felt it, and so did one of the spokes. SFX, just north of Wolverhampton, fitted the spoke for me in the blink of an eye. I did have some spokes that I got from Hitchcock's, but he fitted one of his own, which is no doubt better quality, but is just slightly odd, but has been fine. On a trip out to Shropshire, taking photos for the Wares competition, which you can find out all about on the Facebook page. It's not started yet this year. This is part of the loom that goes to the rear light assembly to power the rear lights and indicators. As you can see, it's seen better days. What I think's happened is the rubber grommets, one of which you can see to the right there, I think they've got past their best and they don't grip very well in the mudguard. The mudguard and the clips, sort of half moon clips for these grommets, are all moulded in one in the mudguard, and I'm thinking either they haven't gone past their best, or that pothole may have done it as well, never noticed it at the time. But at some point it's dropped out and it's rubbed on the rear tyre, causing me to lose the left indicator and luckily nothing else. This is the first incarnation of my improvement, perhaps. I got a new loom from Hitchcock's, but if you do need this part of the loom, which is just a plug-in bit, it's not listed on the parts list and the parts diagrams on their website, but they have got it. It was about 17 quid, which I thought was quite reasonable. As you can see, it's a bit ugly. I've used tape there, some cloth tape, to protect the mudguard from any marks. And I've left the grommets on just in case I change my mind and want to reroute it back, which is sort of like to the rear of the battery. There's a hole in part of the mudguard that protects all the battery in that part of the bike, and then it runs underneath the mudguard, roughly where it is now. Well folks, look at that for fencing. I saw this a few weeks ago when I was hunting for photographs for this year's Get Out There challenge. Well, doing the research really, making sure the phone still existed. And to be honest, I went the wrong way and I come up here and I thought, look at that fence, and it wasn't quite as filled in as it is now, but that's beautiful. Proper way to do fencing. I don't know if they call it pollarding, but whatever. I'm absolutely no expert on fencing. Back to me in the studio. I thought it did look a bit messy, so I moved it to the side of the frame, so it's not so bad now, and to be honest, most of it's hidden under the seat. Now we have a new tool bag required. On the right is the original, you can see all the holes in it at the end. On the left is a Himalayan one, and that's one courtesy of my first Himalayan, Webley Mark 1. Thank you, Webley Mark 1, wherever you are. And the reason for going into that tool bag in the first place was to do a bit of TLC, and after doing some TLC on the chain, I flicked it off the centre stand and found that the chain at times rubbed on the centre stand, and I thought that is not normal. So a bit of investigation, and I found that where this tape is now, this rather grubby tape, there should be a rubber grommet. This was my stopgap solution until I could get over to Hitchcock's, and I bought a new grommet. There you can see, top right. Also bought the pads for the front, although mine have still got a bit of life left in them, but I've got them anyway. And on the left, that is a gasket for the exhaust, just in case I decide to fit my Gold Star style exhaust. Also, whilst we're there, I picked up a new rubber grommet for the side cover for the battery. The original was in a poor state, and I don't think this one's going to last much longer either. There's the new rubber grommet on the centre stand, and it fits it nicely and does the job far better than my stopgap. Not much long after, it was new tyre on the back, and then another wheel issue, a puncture on the front, courtesy of some hedge cutting, so probably a bit of blackthorn or hawthorn. Now, it is a tubed tyre, so they usually go down quite quick, which it wasn't. Dirty Harry helped me pumping up the tyre again, and it was very awkward doing it at home on my own. As you can see, this is my solution. Trolley jack under the engine, and whilst I was getting the tyre done, I've got an axle stand underneath one of the forks, just in case. Lee at Tritech put a new tube in for me. Nothing was found in the tyre, so it looks like it went in and out, which was lucky, I suppose. So it's more of a weepy puncture than a full-blown puncture. It certainly didn't go down massively quick, but I couldn't go anywhere. But I suppose I was lucky, because tube tyres tend to go down really quick, and I managed to get home and I never noticed a thing. However, recently, in the last week, I have had cause to question either the new tube or the new valve in the tube that came with it, of course. Now, I think it was a V-rubber tube, if I remember right, so perhaps not the best make. But anyway, for now, I've changed the core in the valve for a new one. It had dropped over about 6 weeks, I suppose, maybe 2 months, from 20 psi to 8.5. And after pumping it up again, and after a MOT, which he passed, that was about 2 weeks ago, it's dropped from 20 psi to 18 psi. I've changed the core in the valve, and we'll see what that brings. We're off to the Spotty Dog Tea Room at Tenbury Wells. 13 miles, lovely countryside. Some twisties, bit of salt, not too much, bit of mud. Overall, not too bad. Don't look open. Closed on Sundays. That's a change from before. Oh well. Onwards. Where to now? I think there's a cafe up by the river. Just up here. Let's have a look. Riverside Cafe. Sunday, 1 o'clock. What time is it? 12:30. Okay, we'll try somewhere else. River team. I've added some more tank protectors to the tank. It doesn't look very pretty, but I've already marked the tank when I was trying to keep it really nice, so these will do. That's it from me. And Smelly.